Hey everybody, welcome back to Lamson Family Farms. My name is Max and today is Saturday, February 1st. Anyway, I'm up here working up on the deconstruction of this room. So this weekend so far I have been able to take the ceiling off and it is all laying right here. You can see some extra sheets there. I think I've got a cat behind me and there's some under that hardware cloth back there. That went really well. So luckily for me, the roof of it was not nailed down. I thought it was. I thought that was going to take me a lot longer than it actually did, but it was not nailed down. So that went by really fast. And then I was able to take off the hardware cloth that was under the roof. So I've got that all kind of rolled up, loosely rolled. And then behind me along the floor over there, I'm just gonna store it for now. So what my plan is, I'm planning on reusing that hardware cloth for other projects. I'm not gonna just let it go to waste. There's a bunch of hardware cloth in this. So I have plans for maybe making some rabbit cages out of some in the future, we'll see. I'm also planning on using a good chunk of it to do the new chicken coop area that I'm hoping to have done by this spring because the chickens have to move. And then I was thinking for the storage shelves in the basement that I'm going to be using a lot of this lumber for, I thought it might be kind of cool to do a couple of shelves instead of the plywood as the shelf, doing the hardware cloth with some boards as supports for things like potatoes and onions, garlic, winter squash, pumpkins, things like that, that you wouldn't mind having some airflow to. So I thought that might be kind of a neat idea for some of the shelves. I'm hoping that I'm gonna have enough to do everything with. Like even the outside, I know you can see the plywood here, but the plywood also has hardware cloth on the outside of it. So all of these walls all the way across have hardware cloth. So there's a ton. So I'm hoping to have enough to do what I want with the future projects. I think I probably will. So what I'm gonna be doing today is just taking my screwdriver and taking screws out. I started doing that last night. I got kind of cold last night. So yesterday the high I think was 15 degrees. And so it was pretty cold by the end of the day. I've just come out to do some work today. And I think today we're at 19. So it's a little bit warmer, still pretty chilly. But if I keep moving, I tend to stay warm. If I slow down and stop, that's when I usually get cold. So I'm gonna just put you guys on a time lapse. I'm gonna try to get a lot of this done today, just taking screws out, trying to take boards out. What I'm kind of doing is as I'm unscrewing things, I'm just trying to figure out how he put it together and what the next thing I should unscrew is. So I'm pretty much going from the ceiling to the floor. I'm trying to take the ceiling down first because I can't undo the walls until the ceiling comes down. So I'm just trying to get the ceiling down and then I'll start taking the walls apart. I think once I get to the walls, it's not going to take me very long, I'm hoping, because it should just be, a couple of screws on the top, a couple screws on the bottom, taking the plywood down. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse. Okay, so I'm still working on taking off this first room's staples on the ceiling, but I think one thing that I find really challenging, and excuse me for the like purpley lips here, it's probably like less than 20 degrees outside and it's pretty cold up here. I feel like my whole face is cold and my hands are cold, but I just wanted to talk about kind of the importance of like not setting too rigid of a schedule for yourself. I feel like especially with this project, I've procrastinated this one quite a bit. I probably should have started it a couple weeks ago when I said I was going to start it, and I didn't. Yeah, it has been cold outside, but this project I feel like has been a little bit more intimidating for me because it is such a large project. It's a pretty big space here. I mean, each of these rooms is probably 10 by 10, and like, it's just, I haven't had to do something quite like this yet. So I just feel like I've been putting it off. And in my mind, you know, it's easy when you're thinking about something to kind of make up like a schedule for yourself and how much time you think something should take. And it's very challenging for me when something is taking longer than I think it should, or it's not like fitting up into this made up schedule that I did in my head. So I feel like, especially for this project, I need to be giving myself some grace about the timeline, because as long as I'm making progress on it, it's progress. It doesn't really matter how long it's taking. Like if I don't get the ceiling off and like a good chunk of it deconstructed this weekend, it's not the end of the world. I have a couple of months at least to work on taking this down. I won't need this space until maybe, hey, next year or this year. And even then, we still might not need it. It's fine. This is just kind of a back burner kind of project. And I don't have any animals relying on me to like finish the space. So I'm just trying to be more patient with myself. Yeah, it would be really nice to have canning shelves done in the basement this summer. And I still plan on making that happen. But I just feel like I'm trying to get less stuck in my head about how long things should take. Things are going to take how long they take. And I'll work on it as hard as I was going to work on it to begin with. It's not like I'm saying to myself, well, yeah, just don't work on it, it'll be okay. No, I'm still telling myself I'm going to work on it as much as I can. And when it gets done, it gets done. I've worked on it as hard as I can, and it will just take how long it takes, not how long I think it should have taken me, and then been hard on myself because it didn't take that made up amount of time. So I just want to caution people. I feel like when you see the time lapses and things on the videos, it's like, oh, they did it so fast, or like it didn't really take that long. You know, it's now the middle of the afternoon on the first day that I worked on this. Like, taking out these staples is going to take me a while. There's really no faster way to do it. That's just, things take time. And I feel like, especially in like today's society, we get very stuck in instant gratification. And it's helpful, although maybe not feel good in the moment, to have projects like this that actually do remind you things take time and not everything has to happen right away. I'm going to keep working on this. I'd imagine it'll take me a good chunk of time, and that's okay. I'm having a great time listening to my audiobook. Thank you, Pam, for reminding me that you liked hearing about my audiobooks and what I listen to and what I read. I've kind of gotten out of doing that for some reason. But I am burning through quite a few Agatha Christie books. Been kind of on an Agatha Christie kick recently. Been listening to the Poirot mystery series, and I've been really enjoying those. I did hit I think I did 50 books last year for my Goodreads challenge. I try to usually set one every year, and I've been, I think, doing it for over a decade now. So it has been really nice to have audiobooks to listen to while I'm doing projects like this. I do the majority of my reading via audiobooks. That being said, Julie and I did recently find a local bookstore that we really like. It is not like a mainstream bookstore. It's an individual who's selling kind of a lot of his own personal collection of books. And he is very well read and has a breadth of types of books that he likes. Anyway, I feel like we're finding a lot of more niche books there. I, in particular, really enjoy Asian American books, African American books, Native American books, things like that. I'm not really a history buff. I'm not really a historical fiction buff. I like books that are best set around building the characters, not so much the plot. One of my favorite books is As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner and The Sound and the Fury. Both of those books have, in relation to other books, not a lot of plot, but a lot of character building. So anyway, we have been going to this bookstore and buying quite a few books. And so I've been trying to get back into reading books at night instead of like being on my phone. And that has really helped. It's kind of one of those things that's hard to get back into once you stop. But what I've been doing is I set my timer on my phone for like 15 minutes. I have my 15 minutes worth of doom scrolling, sometimes a little bit more, but it's less than it used to be. And then I will finish up the evening by reading a book. So, and when I'm reading the book, I try to read at least 15 to 20 pages. And a little bit does add up. 20 pages a night is better than no pages a night. And when you start doing it more and more, it gets easier to do it the more you go on. So I feel like, especially at the end of the year when I had gotten a little bit behind on my Goodreads challenge. So I was really reading, and it was so nice to pick up a book again. I feel like I haven't done that in a long time. And part of that is just me. I tend to be kind of a busybody. And it's very hard for me to sit down and read the book. I probably also have some issues with reading. I get very stuck on the same line, and it takes me a long time to progress anyway. So I do kind of get stuck on reading the book. I would rather listen to it while I'm doing something else. So, but I have been recently enjoying my Agatha Christie audiobooks. And I will say, anybody who's listening to this and you like audiobooks, quit paying for Audible. Quit paying for Audible. Get your ebooks and audiobooks from the library. That's what I do. Julia and I worked in libraries. We're both librarians. Both have master's degrees in library science. Support your local libraries. Go get your audiobooks from the library. Quit paying for Audible. I know one lady who probably reads like 50 books. Well, she listens to and reads about 50 books a month. She's paying for all those books. I cannot imagine purchasing all of these audiobooks that I listen to. That's ridiculous. Support your local library. Get them for free. Do yourself and the library a favor. Go get your audiobooks from the library. Okay, that's enough of my TED Talk. So I'm going to get back to this. We'll see how long it takes. You just don't know. But I'm going to keep working hard at it. And I'm going to listen to my audiobook as I go.